So with our reflections, the first thing you're going to look at, because here's the graph of g of x, and we want to graph this, we have to notice that that negative is outside of the function. That means it's going to affect the y values, and your y values are going to get multiplied by a -1. So before you decide, is that a flip over the x-axis or a flip over the y-axis, actually think about a point. We could take this point right here. That point is 1, 6. Notice that the scale is not going by ones this time. It's going by twos, so you have to be careful with that because you will be very tempted to label that 1, 3. And if I multiply the y values by a negative, I'm going to end up here at 1, -6. In fact, you could do that with some other points as well. This point right here, if you multiply by the y values by negative, would go there. This one up here would head down there. So we start to see by doing a couple of points which way the reflection is. This is a reflection over the x-axis because everything's been flipped down. When I draw the blue graph, there's going to be one point where the blue graph and the red graph intersect. Where is that point? Close. Now, you might not even be able to say exactly the coordinates of that point, but if you could say what that point is called, that would be fine. The x-intercept. So right there, that's going to be a point where the blue graph and the red graph intersect. The reason is, what is the y coordinate at our x-intercept? 0. So it's something, 0. And when you multiply 0 by the -1, it's going to stay 0. So if we draw what's happening here, this is what the graph looks like after it's been reflected over. Now it asks for the domain and range. Remember that when there's arrowheads, that means it's continuing on forever in basically two directions. The one up here is always going up and always going to the right. The one down here is going down and to the left. So our domain is everything, and our range is everything. And even after the reflection, the domain and range have stayed the same. Okay, some questions for practice. 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11.